Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is going to be a review of Evolve 3 and Evolve 4. The Evolve promotion is something that I think everyone needs to check out. I think everyone should give it a chance. Some people were kind of down on the first show and the first couple shows. They thought it was kind of tough to sit through. But personally, for me, I thought there was a lot of good stuff on those shows. A lot of good matches. You get to see a lot of the up-and-coming young talent. This features pretty much the best workers on the independent scene that are not involved in Ring of Honor. Quackenbush has showed up for some of the shows, some Chikara guys, Claudio and Hero, Bryan Danielson. Then you get to see up-and-coming guys like Adam Cole and Chuck Taylor and guys like that. So I think everyone should at least give it a chance. It's a very, very different promotion. They have wins and loss records. They have, it's traditional sports rules, so which I like about it. And, so if you want to pick up one Evolve show from this year, I would probably recommend Evolve 4. If you're kind of hesitant about giving this promotion a chance, at least give them a chance with Evolve 4. So, for obvious reasons, but I'll get into that a little bit later. So let's start off with Evolve 3, Rise or Fall. We had Claudio, Castagnoli, and Chuck Taylor in the main event. But I guess they called it Rise or Fall because the storyline. There's a big storyline with Chuck Taylor in the promotion. Chuck Taylor's trying to remain on the Evolve roster. I think the premise was that they didn't think Chuck was good enough to be on the roster, but all of a sudden he has a great wins and loss record, and he's been putting on some good performances. So he wants to kind of shove it up the promotion's ass that he belongs. So that's pretty much what it is. But I'll get to the main event a little bit later. Let's break down some of the essential matches. The first match was Sami Callihan and Adam Cole. This is a very, very good opener. Sami Callihan finally got a chance to show what he could do. I didn't really like the way Ring of Honor booked him. They put him against the Skull Crusher Richochet Brown, which was kind of a semi-squash match. And, I just thought he got to show what he could do here. He's in great shape, a lot better shape than I remembered him from, like 2009, 2008 or whatever it was. But yeah, Adam Cole, he faced Adam Cole. Adam Cole is 21 years old. He's, I think this is his Evolve debut, actually, his debut match. They look very, very impressive. Ring of Honor has actually signed him to a contract after Tyler Black left for the WWE. They actually snatched up Adam Cole. But yeah, very good match, very hard-hitting, athletic match. Got the right amount of time. Adam Cole did a sick German suplex onto the edge of the ring apron. That was pretty brutal. Callihan was wrestling with a lot of intensity. He just looks very, very motivated out there. So this is a good opener. Next up, we had Johnny Gargano and Ricochet. Gargano got to show a lot of his heel tactics in this match. I think Ricochet went for like a suicide dive, and it looked like he blew out his knee or something. He was selling a knee injury, and then Gargano was really slick and made sure he didn't get back into the ring. So it was okay for what it was. We had Jon Moxley and Drake Younger on the show. I was actually looking forward to this. These are two guys from CZW that have, a lot of people are high on them. Now this is probably not the best representation of Jon Moxley. I know a lot of people are interested in this guy. This guy is very, very unique. It's a very unique character. He's very different, though. He cuts these very, very how should I say it? Like very dark promos. They make you think. They would kind of make like the average person nervous. The way he talks. But yeah, this guy's a great character. And Drake Younger's a pretty big name in the independent scene as well. He's mainly a CZW guy. But yeah, I mean, this was good. It was okay for what it is. I think Drake Younger's a pretty good wrestler, but I just don't think this match will blow anyone away, though. Moxley did some pretty brutal suplexes to Younger onto the outside. Younger took some pretty vicious bumps onto that recreational basketball court. So, but yeah, I mean, it was okay. The finish kind of came out of nowhere. The fans didn't like the finish, but it was still solid for what it is. I think you give these guys a hardcore stipulation, I think they could have rocked the house. So. But definitely, I need to see more of Jon Moxley in CZW. I hear that's really where he's at right now. And Dragon Gate USA, I haven't seen any of his. I didn't see the Kamikaze USA match yet, so I definitely have to look into that. So, all right, next up we have Chris Hero and Bobby Fish. Great match, 3.5 stars, really, really good stuff. Hero with the elbow. The ending sequence is just epic. Hero elbowed him like 4 times in a row, but Fish looked pretty good. He hit some nice small packages. Some vicious kicks. I think these guys made for a good combination. So yeah, probably the second best match on the show in my opinion. What else we had? We had T.J. Perkins and Kyle O'Reilly. This is good. A very, very nice martial arts kind of match. Both these guys are extremely talented kickers. They just kick the crap out of each other. It was the finish kind of surprised me here, but so kind of surprised at who went over. But Kyle O'Reilly's another guy that signed with ROH. He's actually Davey Richards' protege, so you can definitely see the similarities between Davey and Kyle O'Reilly. A little bit of similarities, but T.J. Perkins he's a veteran. You know, Bryan Danielson is very, very high on T.J. Perkins. He's wrestled in PWG on the West Coast several times. But yeah, and he had an awesome match with Sawa on the first Evolve show. So yeah, he's been good though. He's been very impressive. All his performances have been impressive. I'll probably give it like 3 1/4. It was good stuff. Next will be a Jimmy Jacobs and Brad Allen. Brad Allen kind of reminds me of B.J. Whitmer a little bit. He actually signed a WWE developmental contract, and the day he signed it, his mother actually died in a car accident, which is kind of unfortunate. That kind of sucks. But yeah, him and Jacobs had a solid match. There were some guys kind of distracting Brad Allen. I think the guy from FIP, you know, that fat guy with the white hair from FIP. It was good. It was solid stuff. Brad Allen's, he's a hell of a wrestler. I think he's pretty solid. I would actually say he's probably better than B.J. Whitmer's in some areas. Jacobs looked impressive in both of these shows, but this didn't blow me away. I thought it was good. Next we had the main event. We had Claudio Castagnoli versus Chuck Taylor. Good match, you know, really, really good stuff. It was a great match without, you know, overdoing it with a lot of near falls. I like the story to this match too. Chuck Taylor was really, really hungry. He wanted to prove that he could upset Claudio. And then as the match progressed, it looked like Claudio was kind of wearing out. And then Hero was actually on the outside trying to motivate Claudio. And but it just didn't work though. You know, Chuck Taylor looked awesome here. The finish was pretty good. It flowed really nicely. Chuck Taylor tried to dissect Claudio and just, you know, take the bigger guy apart. And I just thought it made for a good story. I mean, the match isn't going to blow anyone away, but I thought it was match of the night, and probably one of the best Evolve matches so far. So that's Evolve Rise or Fall. I mean, I thought it was a good show. Not amazing though. I'll probably give it like a 7.75. All right, next we move on to Evolve 4. Everyone should check this out. This is this is probably the best Evolve show to date so far. Obviously, you got Bryan Danielson on the show, and you know, definitely check out his match with Bobby Fish, but I'll get to that later. We have Brodie Lee and Jon Moxley. This kind of was a disqualification. Definitely sets up like a hardcore match in the future, which should be pretty fun. Then Drake Younger actually won a 4-way match. After the match, Chris Dickinson kind of snapped and thought he got screwed because he had Rich Swann in this. I think it was Rich Swann. He had him in a submission, but you know, Drake Younger actually got the win behind his back. So it was pretty good. It was good stuff. You know, I thought all 4 guys were on. They put in a lot of you know, a good effort for the amount of time that it went. Next we had Gargano and Adam Cole. I don't know. This is okay. It wasn't anything special, but I thought this could have been a little bit better. Gargano and Cole went at it though. You know, 2 of the up and coming young guys that you know, that are pretty big names right now. So, but the aftermath was pretty much the reason to check this out with Jimmy Jacobs. Jimmy Jacobs. A lot of people kind of criticizing him for his sexuality. There's a storyline where they're trying to say that Jacobs is kind of a emo faggot or whatever, and you know, he was trying to approach Adam Cole, go after Adam Cole, because Adam Cole's a pretty, you know, he's in pretty good shape. So, but I just don't know how well this Jacobs thing, the gay Jimmy Jacobs storyline thing, I don't know if that could really go over, because considering all the stuff that happened with Lacey in Ring of Honor, I'm not so sure if they could really pull the trigger and go all the way with that. But I'm not sure. So then you had Jigsaw and Hallowicked from Chikara team up to face Aeroform. I thought the Chikara guys looked pretty impressive. I mean, it was okay. It was pretty average actually, but the ending sequence is pretty sweet with a lot of super kicks from Jigsaw and Hallowicked. And then we had Sami Callihan and Arik Cannon. This was awesome. This was great. I mean, you know, just like Mr. Narrator said, some of the fans were kind of you know, immature in this match. They were saying someone lose already and stuff like that, which is kind of unfortunate because these guys were extremely stiff with each other. Sami Callihan, another great performance from him. I think one of these guys, I think it was Arik Cannon, he did an exploder to Sami Callihan on the aisleway. Oh, wow, that was a sick bump, and you know, they just slapped the taste out of each other's mouths. I mean, it was a vicious match. It was a very, very hard-hitting match. A lot of 6 suplexes. The ending submission sequence was pretty awesome. This was delivered above and beyond expectations. So, what else do we have? We had Up in Smoke versus the Osirian Portal. These guys had matches in Chikara before, but this was this kind of took a while to get going. But you know, it was an impressive performance from Osirian Portal. They've improved a lot. Cheech and Claudio, I'm not sure where they're wrestling right now full time. I know they're not really wrestling for Chikara that much, but it was okay. I wouldn't say it was one of their better matches, but next will be a Jimmy Jacobs versus Chuck Taylor. This was good because both these guys are actually undefeated, so it made sense to put both these guys together. And wow, this is great. This is probably the best Jimmy Jacobs match in a long time. Like really impressive stuff in this match. There was a beautiful sequence with Taylor actually went for a springboard drop kick, and then Jacobs kind of no-sold it and just speared Chuck Taylor out of nowhere. That was an awesome spot. Awesome match. A lot of tremendous action. The finishing sequence was awesome. I mean, yeah, like I said, great match from Jimmy Jacobs. Jacobs looked very, very impressive for both of these shows, and Chuck Taylor as well. I'm a lot more sold on Chuck Taylor after watching both of these than I was before. And then we have the main event. We have Bryan Danielson versus Bobby Fish. You know, for those that don't know, Bryan Danielson is actually the guy that actually, you know, came up with the Evolve theme. He actually pitched the idea to Gabe Sapolsky, which I was not really aware of until recently. But yeah, him and Bobby Fish had a great match. You know, they talked about how Bobby Fish and Danielson actually teamed up in Noah. That Danielson actually highly recommended Fish, you know, for his first main event match. So yeah, I mean, this was good. You know, Bobby Fish has an MMA background. This felt like a, you know, this had a huge MMA influence to it, but not. It wasn't as bad as the WXW shoot style matches. Like, it wasn't as serious as that. There was a little bit more professional wrestling here. You know, Bobby Fish did some cool things. He hit a flying headbutt. He did a dive into the crowd. So there was a lot of action here as well. Danielson hit some sick suplexes. Did a beautiful regal plex. Did some beautiful deadlift German suplexes. I mean, what more could you ask for? This is great. I would say that you could argue that this is the best match in Evolve history. I would say that Ibushi and Richards from the first show, a little bit more explosive of a main event, but as far as storytelling goes and wrestling goes, this is probably by far the best match that has taken place in Evolve. Did a lot for Bobby Fish, though. Give Bobby Fish credit. A lot of the fans are crapping all over him. There's this one guy chanting A for effort, and you know, a lot of the guys were kind of on his back, but I still thought it was a great match. I mean, the ending submission sequence was awesome with Danielson going for that. He just pulled off the 6th submission to end the match, and I just thought it was a yeah, it's just excellent match, as I'm sure everyone expected. So yeah, Evolve 4 a little bit easier to sit through than the previous show. Still, I still think there's a little bit room for improvement, though. I'll probably give Evolve 4 8.25 and Evolve 3 7.75. So definitely give this promotion a chance. At least check one of these shows out. And if you want to just get one, I'd probably say get Evolve 4. So all right, guys, thanks for watching, and definitely check these shows out.